Hello, my name is Alyssa, and today I will be showing you how to grow your own pineapples using a sucker. So here we have one variety of pineapple plant. These are ornamental pineapples, and as you can see, this plant has many suckers that we could cut off and use to grow a new plant. Many of the other pineapples have no suckers, and that's because right now in March it is a bit too early. The suckers typically start growing closer to summer, but we do have some suckers that we could use to plant a new pineapple. So one thing you want to be sure of before you plant your pineapple suckers is that the soil needs to be ideal for them to grow in. So here we have an ideal pH. Also, the ratio of sand to soil should be about 70-30. So here with our ornamental variety of pineapple, as you can see, it has many suckers. And we are gonna go ahead and try and twist one of these suckers off. It's really important to make sure you're wearing gloves because the edges of the leaves are serrated. So you want to protect yourself from any injury. And you can go ahead and take one of these suckers and just give it a gentle twist, and it comes right off. If you are having trouble twisting your sucker off, you can use garden shears to cut it off, but for this one we only need to twist. So here we have another variety of pineapple. These are Costa Rican pineapples, and right now we actually have a really unique opportunity. This was a sucker that had been growing for a very long time. Most of the suckers you see are only a few inches long, but this one was left to grow to quite the size. But regardless, it will still grow into a pineapple if we plant it. So I'm going to show you how to plant a sucker of this size. So here we have our Costa Rican variety of pineapple, and we are now going to plant the sucker in the ground. So you're going to want to find a gap, because you don't want the pineapple to be too close to other pineapples. So right here we have a little gap in between these two pineapples. So we're going to move these leaves out of the way, and then you're going to take your tool and you are going to dig a moderately sized hole. And here you're going to take our sucker, put it in the ground. So a very important step is to make sure you press in the soil around the pineapple. And you want to do this before the roots begin to take hold. So you should do this immediately after planting the sucker. This is important because if your sucker is not pressed well into the ground, then a strong gust of wind could blow it over. While it is important to make sure your pineapple is anchored well into the ground, you do want to keep in mind that it cannot be too far into the ground, because if you get soil in the crown of the pineapple, it could actually rot the pineapple and cause it to die. So you want to make sure this top part is still sticking out of the ground. So it is very important that after you plant your pineapple that you immediately water it, because the soil was likely dry, and water is very important for it to grow. All it needs is a gentle misting. If your hose is on too powerful of a setting, it could actually knock the pineapple out of the ground. So we want to be very gentle when we mist it. And as far as further waterings, this is going to depend largely on your location and the climate. Here in Stuart, Florida, we have really sandy soil, and which is great for pineapples because it drains very well. So they do not need to be watered as frequently as they do in other places. The best way to determine if your pineapple needs to be watered is to actually feel the soil around it. So obviously this one feels wet because we just watered it, so it does not need to discuss how to use fertilizer on your pineapples. So this here we have a granular pineapple specific fertilizer. You should only use fertilizer that is specific to pineapples, as they have very specific needs that are unique from other plants. So you're going to want to find a pineapple fertilizer. And it is important that you follow the specific instructions for the specific brand of fertilizer that you have. This brand says to apply to the plant 3 to 4 times a year. Some may say 6 to 8 weeks. So you're going to want to follow the directions that you have. And as our pineapple was just planted, we do not need to add any fertilizer. So you will know that your pineapple is ready to be harvested when it starts to turn a orange-yellow color. As you can see, this pineapple is still a green and purple color, so it's not ready to be harvested. Another sign that your pineapple is ready to be harvested is that the leaves should be able to pull easily out of the ground. As you can see, this one does not pull out easily, so that means it is not yet ready. But if it was ready, what we would do is take a pair of shears and very carefully cut off at the base of the stem. Something to note is that if you cut too much of the stem, the pineapple will not regrow. So you want to cut as close to the fruit as possible. The time that it will take your pineapple to be ready to be harvested will vary a lot depending on the species of pineapple. Although this pineapple, as we can see, is fruiting, it will likely be ready to be harvested around mid to late summer. So although this is a process that takes quite a long time and requires a lot of patience, if you maintain your pineapples and take good care of them, you will see amazing results. The pineapples that you grow on your own in your backyard, they usually taste even sweeter than the pineapples that you will buy at the grocery store. So it is very rewarding to grow these pineapples. If you are not seeing success in your pineapple growing, you can always consult with a professional gardener. We hope that this tutorial helped you learn how to grow pineapples using a sucker, and hopefully you will be inspired to grow your own pineapples.